You and I both know that you are capable of enjoying the rain and frolicking freely without filming it and then posting it to TikTok. Now, you've just co-signed, okay? You just co-signed at least 3 million, 8.5 by 11 front and back people who just go out of their way to disrespect and dismiss the boundaries that Black creators have set. And now you're one of those people. So, I guess my question would be, why? Why is it so important to all of you to treat us like we don't matter?
That is still one of my favorite crazy people things on TikTok. A white woman frolicking in the rain is racist and dismissive of all Black people, and apparently there's some like unwritten agreement amongst all Black content creators that white people dancing in the rain is racist or something. I don't. Is it because they don't like it? Is it because the Black women don't like getting their hair wet?
That's what I was going to say. I think it probably has something to do with hair care and
I mean, you can always just wear a shower cap and go out and dance in the rain and live life and be happy. You don't have to be mad because other people do it without a shower cap.
I'm not convinced it's real either. I think it's one of those just like like the white power, like this thing. It's not real, but I think it's like
I don't know. Go check that.
It's a 4chan type troll.
Go check that chick's TikTok. I'm pretty sure she's legitimately upset about everything being racist in some way.
And probably, but I mean, she probably learned from 4chan that Black people are supposed to not like the rain. So,
do you think Black people know what 4chan is? Like 4chan seems like a really white thing to me.
Is it? I don't know. I've never been.
I'm not good at it. I don't know. I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do.
What is it? Just like it's a message board. Message board, correct?
Yeah. Very much.
I don't know. I think we do enough trolling, make enough disparaging remarks in our own group chats to suffice. I don't need any more.
I enjoyed the trolling aspect of Reddit, but I just can't participate in it because like the Reddit trolls are so psychotically leftist that like it. I don't understand where their logic comes from a lot of times. Like I enjoy reading it; it's fucking hilarious. But there's no way I can. There's no way I can participate in it. It's like this is a step too far. Like I can deal with the Twitter leftists. They at least are like somewhat understandable. But like the extent to which the Reddit leftists go is like y'all. Reddit is left wing QAnon basically.
Glad I never visited. I don't know. I mean, after a certain point, there is no more logic involved, and it's just feelings. Yeah, I mean, I remember, being told not to think with your penis as a young man, right? But use principles and logic to think through things and use your brain and. I think that's just the leftists never grew out of that. Might not be their penis, might just be their big toe, but they're still just following emotions.
I don't think my penis has ever. Never mind, it has. I forget about my entire first marriage. I was about to say I don't think my penis has ever steered me wrong, but then I'll take that back.
Yeah. Well, that time you had to get the penicillin, and the other time you had to get the penicillin. Steered you the wrong way.
Never had one of those times. How is the South Korean penicillin of a higher quality than the American penicillin? Like, how's that work?
I don't know. I used amoxicillin.
The knockoff shit.
I went to the doctor and got some of their, witchcraft meds. Just like take a package of pills. I actually went one time for just like it's kind of a head cold. It was a little bit more, and I was like, oh, you gotta go. So I went, and like I walked out of there, and it was like like the stickers that come off the spools at the doctors. It's like, all right. Well, it was like that, except it was packets of like 5 or 6 different pills. And they just hand me a strip of like 7 of them. Like, take one of these each day. And I don't know what was in it. I don't know. It was probably like, vitamin C and zinc and, different vitamins or whatever. But there was like no explanation. It was just like, here you go. Yeah.
Take these.
Yeah. Like, it was weird, man. Little like, wax paper type bags of sealed shut.
That's not scary at all.
Seems professional.
Probably, you know what? It was probably safer than 90% of the shit that you would get from any doctor actually giving you a prescription here. So
yeah, for real. Yep.
Speaking of stuff that doctors give people, oh, what the hell? Why is it doing that? There we go. Sorry. For some reason, my screen decided to For some reason, my screen decided to refresh.
Oh, Twitter?
Yeah.
It does that sometimes.
I know, it's weird. I got it. We're back in business.
Oh, this is the Alberta.
Community that faced the most restrictions on their freedoms in the last year were those who made a choice not to be vaccinated. I don't think I've ever experienced a situation in my lifetime where a person was fired from their job or not allowed to watch their kids play hockey or not allowed to go visit a loved one in long-term care or hospital or not allowed to go get on a plane to either go across the country to see family or even travel across the border. So they have been the most discriminated against group that I've ever witnessed in my lifetime. That's a pretty extreme level of discrimination that we have seen. I don't take away any of the discrimination that I've seen in those other groups that you mentioned, but this has been an extraordinary time in the last year in particular. And I want people to know that I find that unacceptable, that we are not going to create a segregated society on the basis of a medical choice. The community.
Who is this chick?
I think that's the prime minister or something. She's from Alberta. She's like the leader of Alberta.
The premier.
Premier, that's what it was. Yeah, which is interesting because I think there was somebody else from Canada who kind of echoed the same sentiments. And it's interesting to see how they kind of are appearing now, pushing back on Trudeau, and they're in the middle. They're not those. What's wrong with the coast, man? Why do the coasts always end up with the crazies? Like, because Alberta's in the middle, and they're actually like normal. I bet you go out to like Western Canada, they're gonna be like, wow, she's Hitler. Who's Hitler?
That woman.
Oh,
the premier of Alberta.
Is she denying? Is that because she's like denying, what the Jews have been through?
No, I don't need to explain. I think actually the further west you go in Canada, the more redneck it gets. I think.
Does it? Yeah, I think I bet when you get out to like Vancouver and British Columbia, it's like, I bet you it's just California, Portland, Seattle. It just kind of keeps moving up the coast. I don't imagine you hit that line, it just stops and turns to normalcy. The cancer just keeps spreading. I don't know. When
Leighton, what's it like in Canada? Until he's on that side of Canada.
He might as well be Canadian. Yeah, he's Canadian or Russian.
He can literally see Putin's doorstep from his front porch.
Yeah, it's a good place to be, I guess. You won't get nuked.
That's right. If you were inside the blast radius, you don't have to worry about it. We should all move to Alaska.
It is, when I first, I think I read the caption of that video and I was like, the most discriminated group. And I kind of was like, yeah, she's being a little hyperbolic there. But then when she lays it out like that, and you think about all the things that you couldn't do if you weren't vaccinated, she's spot on. She's, In recent times, that's, you know, that's the worst. Even, dare I say, even during like Jim Crow and stuff, like you weren't prohibited necessarily from like seeing your family. Like there were still places that you could travel, that you could go to, right? Like with the with the V card thing, that's not the case, right? Like you just couldn't go to the grocery store. You couldn't go to any hockey rink. Like, you know, of course, Canada's got some weird stuff going on with their indigenous cultures that they, you know, put in homes and abused, but that's something else entirely that I don't know much about, but I know it happened.
Well, did you get run out of any stores for not wearing a mask?
I got run out of the dentist office. That was the one place, that and the ER.
The
the ER
dentist
was the
office,
only place I actually, yeah,
where they're about to ask you to take your mask off so they can dig around in your mouth.
that one. Yep. I went and I waited outside. I said, no, I'm gonna go sit outside. You
Send me
guys
a
can call
text when it's time for me to
we're
come
ready.
in.
Yeah. Like this is yeah. But and the ER was one. My kid got stung in the face by a wasp, and his whole thing swelled up, and we were a little concerned about his breathing. So we went to the ER, and they made me mask up. Now I, you know, to be fair, I, you know, took it off my ear when I was everywhere else, but you know, to get in, I had to wear it. Nobody really cared.
Sean fractured his wrist, and I had to take him to the ER. And he kept telling me, "Put it on. They're gonna kick you out." I'm like, "I bet they're not gonna kick me out. Like they will have to physically pick me up and remove me from the premises." So Steven said Menards wouldn't sell to him. That was one of the funniest experiences that we had, was at Menards, because I was not wearing a mask.
What is Menards?
It's like Lowe's or Home Depot, but I guess more classy. It's like the Target of, like, you know, Lowe's and Home Depot
of home
yeah
appliance stuff.
yeah.
Okay.
So we were at Menards.
Well, that's what you get for going there, you prissy little thing.
We were on that side of town. They have certain things that the other stores don't have. Anyway, we were at Menards, and an employee saw me not wearing my mask, and he like makes a beeline for me, like he's coming to make sure he's gonna like remove me from the store. And then I saw his eyes avert like down to my hip, and then he turned and he went the other direction. Like as soon as he saw that I was carrying my gun, he didn't want anything to do with it. He just ran off. He ran off. It's like, dude, I'm not gonna shoot you for trying to like make me put a mask on, but
yeah, but the media has led him to believe that you would.
So anyway, we get to the checkout, and
you're already killing people with your mouth. Why wouldn't you kill them with a gun? Yeah.
We get to the checkout, and I'm just like, I didn't buy anything. Stephanie had gotten some stuff, and so like she's checking out, and I'm just like dicking around, and they've already rang it all up, and she's paid for it, and the woman's like, "Wait, are you not wearing a mask? We can't check you out." And it's like, you've already put it in the bag. Like, we're just gonna leave. And she's like, "You have to leave. You can't be in here without a mask on." It's like, if you just let us have the bag, you know, give us our receipt. That's literally what we're trying to do. We're trying to leave.
I'm in the process. Yeah.
Like, you're the one who's slowing down the process of us leaving. Like, if you just not make a big deal of it and give us our shit, we would be gone already.
It's weird because, like, was it like that in other places around you?
There were very, very few.
So what creates that culture, like in that particular store, right? That, like,
I don't know, because like I was working at Lowe's through the whole pandemic, and nobody gave a shit.
Yeah,
like not a single solitary shit was given. If you didn't want to wear a mask, like I had an older lady that she had a really weird sized door, and I found like the door that she wanted, and I was able to get the size for her, and she was like super happy. And she's like, "I know I'm not supposed to do this, but," and she gave me a big hug. I was like, "Lady, I'm not going to stop you from giving me a hug. Like, it's cool." Like nobody in Lowe's cared.
Anytime Justin gets some of that one-on-one personal touch,
I'm definitely a hugger. Yeah. But yeah, nobody in Lowe's cared. But it was like, TJ Maxx and Meyer were the two like really, really bad ones around here. And then or not
TJ
Meyer.
Maxx tried to give me some crap one time.
TJ Maxx and
I remember going
Menards.
there,
And
but-
then Meyer had somebody standing at the door that was like, you have to put a mask on, and if you said no thank you, I don't do that, they were like,
Mhm.
well, okay then. And like they didn't.
I think that was TJ Maxx around us. There was somebody handing out masks at the door. They asked if you wanted one. If you said no, it was kind of like, okay. I mean,
TJ
but-
Maxx, they made us
Yeah.
leave. Like they had some
An armed guard to
18-year-old.
escort you out.
She was not much bigger than my daughter, so I don't think she was going to do much in terms of escorting me if I decided I wanted to go in the store. But she was like, here, I have masks. And I was like, I don't do that. She said, then you can't come in the store. I'm like, cool. And
Yeah.
turned and walked straight back out the door. It's like, there's literally nothing that I need here. Like you're a niche store for random bullshit that people don't actually have any use for. Like maybe like
Speaking
loosen
of
up on
random
that a little
bullshit,
that nobody has use for.
yeah, man,
This is true.
I don't know, because I know, like my
It's
family's up
Mark.
in New
Mark,
York.
you're the reason that he says I don't know, because we've had a completely functional conversation this whole time without a single I don't know. As soon as you pop on the screen,
But my family's up in New York, and so they would, they had to do the whole masking charade and grocery stores and everything like that. But like, down here it was different. Like we didn't have any of that. And, it's all regional. All regional. Mm-hmm.
I don't know what you're talking about.
we're talking about our reluctant or our refusal to wear masks in stores during the pandemic.
Oh,
Did you? Where were
Now,
the stores around you that would like kick you out for not wearing a mask?
I was only asked to take
Is
off
the
a
quarterback
mask.
under the desk now? What's that noise? I just hear a lot of
I'm
slurping.
sorry, it's my coffee maker again. I was only asked to leave a store or to put on a mask one time, actually, and that was Walgreens. This was in 2020. 2021, I was never asked to like put on a mask or leave a store for not wearing a mask. And then obviously there was the whole incident a few months ago in the hospital when the security guard harassed me and my brother. That was about it.
They throw
And
you
that
out?
was when I got that's when I got COVID. The time a few months ago, like immediately after the whole hospital thing, when I did actually wear a mask for a little bit because it was a hospital. Then I got sick of wearing it, took it off, and then she harassed us. 2 days later, I got COVID, and I blame it on the mask.
Yeah. I'll tell you, man, I'd love to see a study or something, some way of like, looking side by side what masks actually do. I guarantee you they make you sicker.
Yeah, I'm sure I already had the virus.
Yeah.
But then like putting the mask on,
Just keeping it in.
yeah, just like I'm not sure the word here, but
You know what?
Kroger tried to make
virus
us wear
that-
masks.
a virus that spreads through the air, and typically viruses survive in warm, damp surfaces, and then you're just covering your face with this perpetually warm, damp surface. No, nothing bad could ever come from that, right?
So you need to
no,
eat
not at all.
lots and lots of peaches.
The time
that-
at Walgreens when I was asked, I just like walked in after going for a run because I just wanted like a drink or something. I walked in, I didn't have a mask on or anything. The lady at the cashier just goes, or the cashier lady goes, you need to put a mask on. And I did the whole Homer, or not the Homer Simpson thing, the Grandpa Simpson thing where you walk in, she says that, and I just turn around and walk out.
You just put your hand up and say, "It's okay, I don't do that."
Kroger
amazing.
tried to make us wear masks, and I just started going elsewhere until they stopped.
It's amazing how effective that is. Like they don't have most of them didn't have an answer for it. Like if they're like, "Sir, you need to put a mask on," I'm like, "No, it's okay, I don't do that." And it just dumbfounded them. They had no response.
Listen, they're not. I mean, you're getting paid minimum wage a little bit more. Like, you weren't hired to tell people what to do. You were hired to like scan groceries or bag groceries or put T-shirts on a hanger. Like it's not my job description to try to manage strangers. Like, I don't know.
Now, last night I did
Understandable.
have to deliver an order to. I was so mad. I like pick up this order and I see in the notes afterwards it says this is for a new mom, room 8401. I was like, you got to be kidding me! I'm not showing up at the hospital room saying, "Hey, someone sent you this shipped order. It's a whole bunch of candy and crap. Congratulations." Thankfully, I was able to leave it at the nurse's station, but I did throw on a mask for that because
You're supposed to do the candygram, like you go in and you sing and you give them a hope you get better soon.
I should have just been like, "Hey, congrats."
You could have
Mind
given
if I
them
sing you a song. I don't know why you're singing a song, but
you could have given them a big thumbs up.
this is it. No.
This is you, Mark. This is your generation.
Why
think,
nobody
right?
should be using the thumbs up emoji in 2022.
Is this racist too?
And the 10 symbols only old people use that have Gen Z rolling their eyes.
It's not racist. It's passive aggressive.
You know, typically when I do the thumbs up, there was that article I don't know, it was like a year ago or something, when it said that most thumbs ups are white, so they are racist. So now I just use a black thumb. People are like, why is it black? I was like, yeah,
Mark, why didn't you wash your hands?
Gen Z sees the thumbs up emoji as rude or passively aggressive. The emoji is commonly used in casual and professional conversation. People aged 35 and over are more likely to use the symbol, but it is alienating. Other emojis used only by old people include the crying, laughing, and the heart.
The red heart. Mm-hmm. The monkey eyes is one. Leighton's favorite is on there, I think.
Wait, you can't use the heart?
That's for old people.
The red heart.
I'm sorry,
is for old
Justin.
people.
I can't send you those hearts anymore.
Let's see. The 10 symbols that only old people use.
I just made like a Clyde joke, but I said it myself. I don't know why I did that.
Let's see. Thumbs up. The okay. Yep. There's Leighton's monkey. The smoochy lips. The heart. Clapping hands. The poop emoji. The crying face. And
what's wrong with the check mark?
I don't know. What is the check mark?
So they were they said
I don't use the lips, but
yeah, I use a little
like there's
with this heart coming out.
Like there's multiple things. First of all, if you're in a professional organization and you're using like a text chain to send pertinent information, things that need to get done, I question how professional you are. Like, I don't know. It just seems maybe that's the way they do things now. But
like I have the yard drivers that I communicate with during the night, that if we have trailers that need to be moved, I'll send them like, this trailer needs to be moved from this door to this door, or from this location to this. Though. Well, I mean, that's professional for us truck drivers. So I'll send them, I need this move made, and they'll send back a thumbs up. And then after they finish the move and it's done, then I'll send them a thumbs up. Like, but I guess we're all old, so that makes sense.
But yeah, I guess I think when I read it, I was thinking more like business office type stuff.
Like this is a professional email that you're adding emojis to.
The people.
You shouldn't do that.
They don't like the one girl was complaining because somebody puts a thumbs up on like her reply, and she doesn't know whether that means like they got the message, they agree with you, they're going to do it. Maybe they're not going to do it, but they just agree with you. Maybe it's done. They don't. It leaves things to be. You don't know, right? Like you don't know what the thumbs up means.
My last
it's
workplace
passive aggressive.
Had a WhatsApp chat for our team to send info to each other, and most of the people on there just replied with a thumbs up. I don't know why, but it seemed a little bit hostile to me. If you're taking hostility from a thumbs up, maybe you suck at your fucking job.
She felt assaulted. Look at her. Is this her though?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay. Because it makes sense then.
That's the only assault she's ever gonna face.
Here we go. She believes words are always better than symbols in a professional icon, and can see how people are disillusioned by the all good icon. Predictive systems can type a word like thanks in 2 clicks after a while, she told Female. Of course, it's called Female. It feels like people are
FEMAIL, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It feels like people are too lazy to type a written response, and it doesn't provide clarity as to next steps. If you are looking for a written response with more clarity and next steps, send a fucking email. Don't do your communication through WhatsApp.
I would get.
Well, that's what I was saying. Like that was. Yeah. Thank you for summarizing what I was trying to say.
I would get coworkers upset with me because I'd reply to their yes or no question in the email with yes or no, and that was it. Like, you got nothing else to add? Like, no, that's it. That's all I got. He just seems so cold. I answered your question.
Well, that's it. Like I don't know, man. If you need more, then don't ask yes or no questions, right? I mean, you can ask a question that elicits a bigger answer. If you don't want a yes or no answer, don't ask a yes or no question.
Like here, this quote from someone. They said, "Why do you feel like it's unsettling?" Honest question, because that's literally how I respond to 90% of messages. I am almost 40 though. I mean, the number one emoji on my phone is it is the thumbs up. Like that's the first one that pops up on my quick list.
Yeah, the little guy that's like this. I use that one a lot because I feel like I have sort of a similar face. I don't use my teeth as much, but I make that face a lot. So it is genuine when I use it. Like, okay, all right.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just in a perpetual state of, oh boy.
Yeah, I definitely feel like I make that face way too much. Let's see. I love it because it means many, many things. It means I approve, or I understand, and will obey, or I agree. If anything, my only objection would be that some days it might be hard to tell which one it means, but it's generally pretty clear.
This lady's nuts.
I don't know. I think people. I know I would probably use the thumbs up, like, and in that passive aggressive way, like, okay, dumbass, like that sort of thing. Like that would be me.
No, you just
like,
everybody else thumbs up, and you're just like, nope.
No, I mean, I'm sure there's messages that are just like, they're that redundant. I already know that this report is due on Friday. So you telling me on Thursday that it's due on Friday, like, I know I already sent you half of it. It's done. Here's the thumbs up. Get off my case, jackass. Like, maybe not. Maybe I wouldn't. I don't know.
I don't know. It just feels because it is.
He did the I don't know.
Because it is at the top of my emoji list. It's number one on my quick list. It's just a lot more convenient for me to tap that than to type okay or 10-4 or Roger or copy.
I'd feel weirder if you typed in 10-4 to me.
I've used that a number of times just to make people uncomfortable, and
that's how I'm.
It definitely works.
I'm responding to everything from now on.
I shouldn't have said that.
10-4, good buddy.
Yep. Yes, sir.
Over and
I try to shorten it to 10-4, good bud, and yeah, it's good. It's good fun. I don't know, man. This is just stupid kids, and I think there's a lot to that, and it's more like of a our culture, our society, we haven't faced anything that's really like drastic and like threatening. You think about like,
well, through COVID, man, that was but 99% survival rate.
You think about like World War II, right? Or like Vietnam, when like you didn't want to go fight, but you were being forced to go over to some foreign country to get like, poison dropped on you from the air and from your own side. Like,
well, I think these people had big struggles in this way.
Well, that's it, right? Like, and I think that's where we get all
his head stomped in, and I think it's the most
People
tragic thing. That's
people
ever
need a
happened.
cause. People need a cause. People need something to, it's just human nature. There has to be some sort of antagonist in life, Like there's no story if everything's peachy keen. So we look for something. I think Gen Z's got it the worst because they haven't had anything. They've had, everything's been on a silver platter. And
Platter.
so, platter.
Hit that plater.
And
Gen Z is what age?
yours.
No.
Yeah. The
I'm a
ones
millennial.
right, ones right below you.
Oh, they're after me.
I think
Gen X is before me.
Gen X is before us, where we are technically millennials.
Xenials. You and I are
yeah.
Xenials, bub.
I know millennial technically goes from like 80. I think it's 82 to 96.
Well, it depends because there's
Birth year.
we're in a weird one because we go from like Gen X and then the millennials, and then in between is this like because we got to grow up as Gen Xers a little bit, like going outside and stuff. The internet was a new thing; it wasn't our everyday, and so the Xenials are in there. I think it's like 4 or 5 years, but 83 is in there, so we're safe, dude.
Yeah, it's like I think it's like 80, 81 or 82 up to like 85 or 86.
Yeah, something like that.
Mark, what year were you born?
92.
Damn,
I was right.
He just made the
You
millennial.
knew about looking at me like, oh, that's a 92 guy. I just missed what? The cutoff?
Yeah, because I think the cutoff is like 96. So he just made it.
Okay, the oldest Gen Z person is like 24 or something like that.
I think that's right.
Around 25.
Yeah. Well,
and people are listening to them.
My second most used emoji is my only response I have for the ones who have a problem with the thumbs up, and that's the face palm.
Yeah, you use that one a lot.
I do use that one a lot.
Is Gen Z really worse than the boomers, though? I mean, it still kind of remains to be seen, but I think Gen Z has a chance to sort of revive themselves, renew themselves.
I don't think they're all boomers are. I think it's mostly just the white women boomers.
Screwed everyone over.
Yeah, the white women boomers.
Yeah, you're saying it's all white women boomers and no men boomers.
There's some, but I think the vast majority. I don't think it's the whole swath. I think Gen Z, it's the whole swath.
Isn't like all of Congress boomers? I guess they're not people. I guess we can't really.
They don't count. Those people. The only time it's appropriate to say,
my girl Alexandria, she's a millennial like me. She's older than me. So if I was that creepy redhead that is dating her, then she would be a cougar.
Well, speaking of cougars,
I thought maybe you had an AOC article and I was trying to transition into it, but nope.
No.
Did you see the video?
About Horseface?
Oh my gosh. Did you see the video of her constituent yelling at her, though? That was pretty good.
That was really good.
I tried. I couldn't find anything, though.
Oh, Steven just asked too. No, that's... I mean,
the AOC, and I thought you meant this girl.
I guess there were 2 of them, 2 or 3 of them. They're like, you shill. He's sending all this money to Ukraine. This is their next tragedy for you, Clyde.
Tell us about the chick who bonded with her dad, who's her manager, while she's doing porn, since you said this.
What?
It's good.
I don't know, man. I didn't bother to read it. I skimmed the first, because I just don't need to. I sent this more because, we've talked about some of this stuff before, like the girl who was banging her dad in Jamaica, and Justin talked about it on his show the other day about almost normalizing some of this stuff.
No, I wasn't talking about like wanting to normalize it.
But... No. But like the way that it's like presented in the media, and there's all sorts of articles and things out there, of an incestuous nature, and it's like okaying it. Now, I mean, this isn't like incest in the big way that everybody thinks of it, right? But like, it is. I don't know. Apparently she had I think she was doing OnlyFans, and then it caused some ripples in her family, and eventually her dad kind of got on board with it. That was as far as I went. I said,
if my
that's
daughters
enough-
tell me
enough
they're
that I
doing
need.
OnlyFans and porn, we're moving out to an Amish community somewhere. Like they're never getting internet again.
Mhm.
I'm just looking for an excuse to go become full blown Amish. That would be it. Like,
I've probably asked this before, but is there a thing where you can? So the Amish have the thing where they're like, their 16-year-olds can go out into the world and like 80 to 90% still come back and be Amish.
Rumspringa.
Thank you. Is there like an inverse of that where us normie folks could come in and be like, hey, can I try out this Amish thing for?
I would say call and
a
ask
year or
them,
so.
but I don't think they use phones. So.
You write a letter and put a little thumbs up emoji that you
Right.
hand draw on there.
Jebediah Campbell. I could see it.
I probably would go with Esau. That feels like more of a fitting name for me.
I'll have to think of a name. I'm gonna go as an Amish person for Halloween. No, that's too disrespectful.
Oh, we should do that. We should do that for our Halloween episode. We all put an Amish name on the screen, and then we just turn our cameras off. Let it sit there for an hour.
I bet they have good conversations.
I bet they do. I mean, what else are you going to do?
They might fit in well with your, you're doing the Farmer's Almanac. I'm sure they probably don't follow the Farmer's Almanac, but they have their own little Amish Almanac for farming. You should try to get one on for your show. I don't know how, but
I don't think they. I don't think they like to be
so
photographed.
confused right now.
I don't think they like to be photographed, so it might be difficult.
Or you might, you might have to do the letter thing too, and where you just like they write you a letter back, and you're reading the letter on your show. This is what.
Maybe we can do audio only. Like I can get them to let me record them. I have to get one of those old cassette type recorders though.
No, you just have to get it run off a generator. They're okay with some of them are okay with using generators and stuff. It's kind of weird, this adulteration that they've come across through.
And there are some that are like, well, we don't have technology in our home, but our barn, we'll go there.
Yeah,
loopholes.
I think I've told it before. There was the Amish guy that was buying the big hog operation back home, and Dad was doing the appraisal, and he was like, well, because the house is downwind from the barns, we're going to keep the central heat and air so that my wife doesn't have to smell the hog barns all the time. Dad's like, dude, you don't have to justify any of this shit to me. We've got two air conditioning units in our house. You're fine. I don't that's between you and God, whatever.
Oh,
I found AOC getting yelled at. You want to watch that? Okay, that's a resounding nothing. Here we go.
Yes.
War, which you voted to send arms and weapons to Ukraine. Tulsi Gabbard, she's left the Democratic Party because they're a bunch of war hawks. Okay? You originally voted, you ran as an outsider. Yet you've been voting to start this war in Ukraine. You're voting to start a thermonuclear war with Russia and China. Why are you playing with the lives of American citizens? You're playing with our lives.
There will be no neighbors if there's a nuclear bomb. You voted to mobilize and send money to Ukrainian Nazis. You're a coward. You're a progressive socialist. Where are you against the war mobilization? He's telling the right truth. You have done nothing.
The right truth.
Never has shown guts where you've shown cowardice. I believed in you, and you became the very thing you sought to fight against. That's what you've become. You are the establishment, and you are the reason why everybody will end up in a nuclear war unless you choose to stand up right now and denounce the Democratic Party. Will you do that? Yes or no?
I like my paycheck. No.
Okay? Simple. Are you going to stop nuclear war? Yes or no? There is no line because this is bullshit. None of this matters if we're all dead. None of it. You know that. Then let's take it up right now because this is the only thing that matters. This is the only thing that matters right now. We could be in a
Is this in
nuclear
Queens?
war at any minute, and you
Bronx, I
continue
think.
to fund it.
Bronx, yeah.
That's what's going on. Why not right now? You're the liar here.
You're being
Nobody
rude.
has
I'm not
held you
going to address
accountable.
this.
That's what's happening. And it is time for you to stand up and realize that what you've been saying has been lies. Let your conscience come through for once.
She's like, no
There's
matter
your
what
boomer
the
white man come in to stop the.
he's like there will be no shared communal spaces if there's a nuclear bomb. Like, how can I take the property of rich people if I'm dead? Pointless. I like how it doesn't matter like what vocation there is. Like, you're in an argument with a woman, it always ends up with you're being rude. There it is.
How many times have we heard her on on the floor, like talking over other members of Congress and doing the exact same thing? But yeah, if her constituents do it to her and call her on her bullshit, they're being rude, and she's not going to answer their questions because you're being rude.
You are being rude.
Has she come up for re-election? She has, right? Yeah, she must have.
Yeah, I mean, I doubt she's in trouble.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't think so, but
I wonder if she wears those same shoes on the campaign trail. Do you remember that?
I don't recall looking for her shoes.
Actually, her shoes.
Did you get them on eBay or something? Or?
No, her shoes were like, they live in lore now because she walked however many miles in the Bronx and they're all worn out. They're in the Smithsonian.
No, they're not.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they are.
Oh, God.
This is who we are. I don't know what Joseph is. He's looking for the shoes, maybe?
No,
Yeah.
I think
He started and now he's stuck. He can't get out of it.
You're not going to get the shoes by looking up AOC's feet, Justin. You actually have to look up shoes.
I think she's actually up for re-election this year.
It would be every 2 years, right?
How long has she been there?
And she was there in 2018, or she got there in 2018.
Yeah, she got elected in 18.
Okay, so she came through. Okay.
That was a different time, 2018.
I thought I'd seen something about the chick that's running against her, but I don't.
I'm not following. Magoo's talking about Jello wrestling match between Tulsi and AOC.
Tulsi and AOC. Yeah. I can dig.
I'd vote for the winner.
Throw that Somali in there too, you know. What's her name?
Omar. She can't risk having her turban fall off.
What's the other one? Presley. Presley would have the advantage in the.
She
Jello.
needs to wear something.
She would have the advantage in the Jello wrestling
nothing
because
to grab.
no hair to grab hold of. I mean, anytime black women get to fighting, they always grabbing hair. She's ready
wins.
to go.
And
I
there's
think
the one in
if I
Detroit.
was a black woman and I got in a fight, I'd just drop the weave. How hard is it to take a weave out? I guess it's probably in there pretty good, huh?
Yeah, it ain't coming out easy.
Mm.
Not without removing large chunks of hair.
What do you think is a more hideous sight, when Tim Pool takes off his hat or Omar takes off her? I don't know what it's called, burqa.
Tim Pool takes off his hat. I don't think I've ever seen this.
No, like what do you imagine?
I thought it was like Joe
sight?
Dirt's. I thought it was like Joe Dirt's mullet, like it's just
Is that what it
permanently
is?
attached.
Yeah, no,
You
I
think
don't
he's
know what it
bald on
looks like
top?
either. I'm just wondering which looks worse. If you imagine them both revealing what's underneath.
They're probably both some sort of like alien or cyborg type
She's
thing.
probably got some bomb strapped up there or something. Yeah, ready to detonate.
What am I googling?
I don't know.
I don't know.
AOC
Tim Pool without a
AOC's
hat,
feet.
maybe?
Tim Pool
Yes.
without a hat.
Come up with a pair of horseshoes.
He's like, do. What you guys talking about before I got here?
I don't remember.
Nice.
Obviously, we're on top of our game today.
Sounds riveting. I don't know what else is going on in the world. I was
Nothing good.
to update you guys on the Ukraine-Russia war. Has nothing to do with Ukraine or Russia. I was told by both my brother and my mother last night that I was right all along about that whole stupid thing. Although they barely gave me credit, they gave Tucker credit. And I was like, fine, you guys can. I was like, you remember I was saying it too.
Saying this for years now.
I'll take it. I was very worried around February because they were both like kind of going back into neocon status. I was like, all it took was freaking Zelensky walking around in his stupid fatigues, but apparently that is fatiguing them.
What happened to Trump?
What do you mean?
What?
I don't know. I
think he's still out there. That can't be right.
I think it's right.
No, sorry. That's totally it. I don't know. JoJo from Jers said something about an indictment making her feel emotional, and like Chip Franklin had a whole bunch to say about I don't know. He's finally getting indicted or something. I don't know.
Chip Franklin?
I don't know. He's one of those like.
Why is he doing this?
I think he
He's gotta
took his
get the
hat
hair
off
out of
and
his
he was
eyes.
like wiping his head. I'm pretty sure that's what his head looks like without a hat.
Just standard fare, I guess.
Yeah.
I imagine.
Just normal balding white guy.
Looks like a man.
I don't know.
Well,
It could be.
Maybe a little too much soy, but not really the hair. It's kind of the physiognomy looks a little soy. Oh gosh.
Interesting.
It is Halloween season.
I watched the new Hellraiser. It was acceptable, I guess.
I hesitate to say this. I thought a woman was wearing a Halloween mask in the store yesterday. And then when I got a closer look, I realized it was her actual face. It was an old woman, but I felt really bad. Like it was like one of those mock masks of old people that's like really saggy, you know?
Mm.
But for a second, I was like, oh, someone's so, never mind.
Just
Anyway.
be civil because your balls will be there one day too. You know? Dragging on the floor.
You know? Got a first-hand experience?
I mean that that is one of my defects. I don't know. Depends if you like that sort of thing or not.
Wasn't it one day like on the show that Clyde sat on his balls and like almost vomited because he hurt himself? Maybe that was one of the night shows that we did.
No, I think I recanted that story too. I was getting in the car and hurt for like a week, man. I don't know what I did. But whew, it's not fun.
So Magoo says that picture of Tim, someone stole his hat from behind. That is a crime. Like that person should spend at least 20 years in jail. You don't take a man's hat off.
Yeah.
Even if I don't like, I mean, I'm kind of neutral on Tim Pool, but like even if it's someone I don't like, you don't do that.
Yeah, I mean, whatever.
You would, yeah, but
it's better than like a concrete milkshake, right? I mean,
I don't know. Most concrete milkshakes are frontal attacks. Hat removals are from the back most of the time.
and that, I mean, it's gentler from the back, I guess. A little more rough.
Yeah, I bet you would think this.
So I guess she said CD McRae
Yes.
said I guess so Trump got subpoenaed or got threatened to be subpoenaed or something.
They've been saying they were going to subpoena.
Yeah,
him for
no,
the
but
last-
I thought there was something more. I thought it was more concrete. Like there was actual, I don't want to say progress, but movement. Maybe not.
No, I don't think anything's actually happened with it.
Magoo's probably joking here, but I could see that happening at the same time. This is the reason that there's a coming civil war.
Did we talk about Alex Jones?
Mm.
Then they has to pay $1 billion.
So is that money all going to like the families? Is that like where's that money? Do we know how it's being dispersed?
How much money?
The crisis actors, they never got paid for
65
that.
million.
It's all going to the crisis actors. They never got paid for that. So like this is back pay for them, plus interest. Now this is what the government owes them. That's the whole reason that they did this, is because the crisis actors were threatening to sue because they never got compensation for doing the whole Sandy Hook thing. So they're like, we're gonna sue.
Hey, if we ever get to 100 subscribers, take this one down because then
We're
they're
gonna
coming at
sue
you.
Alex Jones. You get all his money, and that's how we're gonna pay y'all. So don't
Okay.
just calm down. Don't take us to court over this just yet. We got a plan.
It happened during the writer's strike, so they didn't get paid. That's great.
It's probably why it was so poorly scripted too.
Oh man. So what like
That guy like walks up to the podium like laughing. That was Sandy Hook, right? Like immediately following the shooting, like he's like trying to be all serious, and he walks up to do an interview, and he's like laughing. Yeah, they weren't real great at their jobs. We'll just put it that way.
like what was the like what did he get pinned for? Like what was it? Just defamation of like what?
What is it? Is it the same as what those the Christian bakers wouldn't bake the gay cake or whatever for that couple?
I think that would be like discrimination. I could see where they could,
Well, they said it
tuck that under
caused
something.
them something like something amount of distress and blah, blah,
Emotional
blah.
distress or something like that.
So
They've
I
gone
know,
after
I
that
feel like
baker again.
They what?
They went after the baker again. This time
Seriously?
because he won't make a transition party cake.
Good for him.
like I can
At
that
that
I
point,
can
it shouldn't be
see.
harassment. Like the fact that they keep going back after him,
You would
he
think,
should be
right?
able to. He should be able to file harassment suit on these people.
You should like stay away. Like I want you to stay more than 50 feet away from my store, anyways. But now
Just put a sign out front
let's
that
make
says,
it official.
by court order, any of you queers can't come anywhere near this store.
Like I can
100
see
feet
that
away.
like within our framework of discrimination and civil rights and all this stuff. I can see where like he could get sued for that. But the whole like Alex Jones thing, I don't. It seems a very slippery slope, that one.
Well,
There was
he got sued
constitutes-
for Sandy Hook denial, which is just that's a slippery slope to Holocaust denial. Means you're going to get sued.
Well, I was wondering. I'm worried for Mark, really.
He's
look.
not,
Is it?
He's not saying it didn't happen. He's just saying like the statistics don't add up.
Also, then one day for no reason at all. Like, all right, well let's maybe dive into why this thing maybe potentially happened.
Which
All
we
right,
did.
obviously, I have to look into this more. I thought you could give me some answers, but you clowns can't do.
Wait, what are we answering?
I'm just curious, like how the Alex Jones thing like went down.
No, I think
Oh, the whole thing was-
about the Holocaust.
It was a complete kangaroo court. Did you watch any of the?
No, but like
It was a fake show trial.
but I know it was, but what was he on trial for? Like what actual like law or statute or like what?
Defamation.
So are there numbers on that?
Is he
like,
defaming
do you
the
have to
dead
have?
kids
Is it like
family?
what? Like that just seems like any sort of conspiracy talk, right? Conspiracy, like is now game to get sued. And like why doesn't that necessarily fall under First Amendment protection? Like I don't know.
Stephen, we talked about this Wednesday.
We did.
Yes, the PayPal.
Oh, it was Monday we talked about it.
Was it Monday?
Might have been.
I feel like I might remember it, but not really. I don't know.
We definitely talked about it. Yeah, it was Monday because we talked about Dag's low limit credit card.
And
how
then
he-
you sent me money for, well, I won't say it on camera, but yeah. I'm making too many gay jokes directed directly at Justin today, so I'm gonna stop. Like usually, yeah, like I said earlier, Clyde's making the joke about us, but now it's just me fully accepting the character.
So when we go to the Mississippi State game and I get the hotel room, should I just get the one king or the two queens? How are we doing this?
There's 2 queens and 1 king, I guess, huh?
I don't know.
What else we got? Gotta get off topic. Off of that. Oh, here we go. Since we did talk about Holocaust denial.
Every show.
Every show.
I bet.
FBI arrests 87-year-old pro-life concentration camp survivor for peacefully protesting abortion.
She's not 87, is she?
That's what it says.
The
The Biden administration has been under heavy criticism as Joe Biden's Justice Department targets peaceful pro-life Americans for protesting abortions in such as a way that they blocked access to an abortion center. The Justice Department has charged 11 more pro-life activists with violations of the Freedom of Access to Clinics Entrances Act. What the fuck is that?
So she was like 8 or 9.
Yeah,
In this work camp.
that's Anne Frank right there.
This is Anne Frank.
Inventor of the ballpoint pen.
She just magically found one.
The 11 activists were charged with FACE Act violations stemming from their 2021 blockade of an abortion clinic in Mount Juliet, Tennessee.
Is she a Jewish woman? Or just like Corey ten Boom, where it's like she kind of got put there for other reasons?
Eva Edel.
Yeah, I just assumed she was Jewish.
Yeah, but she's anti-abortion. Most Jews are pro, so I don't know.
Yeah, she could be like a Messianic Jew. No.
Oh, check this out. She's pretty. I hate the word, but she's pretty based. The first time I realized there were abortion clinics in our country was 1988. She said, I said to my husband, "These are the death camps of America." I saw people sitting in front of abortion clinics in Atlanta, and I've been involved ever since.
The ADL immediately started squirting. No, how dare you? How dare you? What is the greatest lie ever solo?
What?
Also,
Can you put that in English?
Planned Parenthood hates our coffee. What?
The greatest lie ever sold. I don't know. It's something about George Floyd, and it's Candace Owens.
Oh, I thought maybe that was Candace.
Yeah. If you
She
were
looks
in a
like
death,
Justin Fields.
bet she throws the ball about as well. If you
It's
were in a
not
death
that
camp
picture.
like I was as a girl, you would want the. Would you want those?
This is Candace Owens, or we're going back to the woman?
We're going back to the Jewish woman.
Okay.
If you were in a death camp like I was as a girl, would you want those who were obligated to love you to lobby for cleaner death camps, less bugs in our starvation diet? Please, it disgusts the Lord that we waste so much time on money that will not protect one single child, even if the legislation is upheld by the court. She's pretty badass.
Yeah, I kind of like Candace Owens. She kind of makes me do essays sometimes, but I dig her. She's entertaining.
You almost said the wrong word there. Calm
Yeah,
down, Mark.
there's Republican senators and congressmen that would vote to have that right of yours stripped
Oh,
away.
they absolutely would.
Yeah.
And Swalwell would too. He just wouldn't admit to it.
I don't know. I think he'd keep that open. He likes his Chinese
might.
girls.
That was Clyde. That wasn't me.
I don't know. Do people actually think that? Like, do people legitimately believe that they're trying to disallow interracial marriages and relationships?
I mean, I've seen it. I've seen, I've seen it coming from the left. This is the next step.
They've said that about Clarence Thomas, and it's like, y'all do realize he's married to a white woman, right? Like,
yeah, but he's just an Uncle Tom, right? He just.
Yeah.
I mean, he ain't black, right?
I mean, I don't really.
According to Joe Biden's definition of what's black, I bet Clarence Thomas isn't black.
To be fair, I don't really view Candace Owens as that black. So
Is she more or less black than Sean King and Rachel Dolezal?
probably less so.
Fair enough.
she definitely speaks better.
Why you gotta bring Rachel Dolezal up?
Clyde keeps going back to he bookmarked those tweets. Just keeps going back to them every so often. If nothing else,
what
just
can you
to
do?
just
She
to
was
remind
head
you,
of. She was head of what?
NAACP.
I wonder how that even happened.
Well, spray tan and good perm.
The thing is, this is like going back to 2014, 2015-ish, right? Like that's when this was all discovered that magically she is not a black woman.
Did you see the pictures of her from like when she was in her 20s? Like, she was a
You're about to say
solid.
she's hot.
She was a solid 4.5. Like she was.
Oh.
Like,
All right.
she definitely wasn't hot, but she wasn't like, you didn't have to double bag
Thank
her.
you,
You could get away with a single bag on that one.
I don't know about
I think I have an idea of what she looked like when she was in her 20s. And nah.
Yeah, she's not one of those chicks you're dating, but like if you're drunk and just need somebody to hook up with at the end of the night, like, you can hit it.
Was she? How do I say this? Never mind. I'm not gonna say that.
Don't censor yourself like Clyde does. Just fucking say it.
I need to keep my PayPal money.
Oh, man.
Somebody say it. Fuck.
How long can we sit in silence?
Just complete retarded silence.
Because democracy basically means government by the people, of the people, for the people. But the people are retarded.